Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Higher Ground Project. Now, this is the podcast that gives job seekers a voice, a platform, and a little bit of sanity in an upside down market. My name is David Peterson.
And I'm Doug Kimmel, and if you're waking up every morning wondering how in the world your job search has turned into an emotional obstacle course or roller coaster, whatever it is, it's challenge, trust us, you're not alone.
Now, every week we get to talk with job seekers who are living through the modern hiring experience, layoffs, ghosting, pivots, reinventions, you name it, we'll talk about it. This is a space for honesty, for humor, and also for resilience.
And before we dive in, as always, a huge thanks to our sponsor, Think Strategic Alliances. Make sure you check them out. They're hiring helping top tier marketing talent find new opportunities by showcasing them on their portfolio site. They're great at strategic partner marketing. Every guest you hear on their show, including today, Lori Ann, will be on their site.
So today's wonderful guest brings a perspective we need more in this moment than ever. Please welcome Lori Ann Cruz.
And Lori Ann is a director of community and product marketing with a deep expertise in storytelling, one of my favorites, pipeline generation, and making sure that she's working very aligned closely with sales. Her secret weapon being what she calls the sales whisperer, which I love. Someone who understands the pressure of closing deals and knows what it takes, how to build marketing that actually helps that. And she just landed a new role, so congrats, Lori Ann. We're very excited for you. But we knew her story still needed to be told because there's a lot of us out there still looking for jobs. And her process reflects the experience of so many other people out there navigating today's shifting career landscape. So, Lori Ann, welcome to the Higher Ground Project.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here and grateful for the space to reflect on this crazy journey, not only that I've gone through, that a lot of people are going through.
Now, Lori Ann, we start each show with a section called Clear the Pipes. Now, this is a place to vent, to get honest, and to say what needs to be said. So, Lori Ann, what was the toughest part of your job search?
One of the best, I'll call it opportunities, is managing internal anxieties. This is a crazy job market that has the annoying habit of making that anxiety worse sometimes. The strategies that I've used in the past while job searching hasn't been enough. So trying new things while getting very little feedback, get ghosted, get very little feedback, whatever, all while managing my own anxieties is challenging at the best of times and all of the time, but learning to work through that.
And you're saying something many of our guests have talked about is that, when I did this job search last time, I did this and I got a job within a short period of time, or ghosting wasn't a thing, or people actually, and that's how David and I actually first started talking, is dealing with that. Let's find new ways to job search. So, you weren't alone, and there's many other people out there. It's frustrating. I mean, it's like you got into the finish line, you find out that the race was changed mid-run.
Yep.
What happened?
Yep. Agreed. But I've been taking that energy, that anxiousness, the having to put my focus on something and flipping it to a place that's constructive and where I have control. So if I were to create a title for my job search, it would be flipping the script from stress to progress.
That's amazing. I mean, I would read that book 100%. And also, I mean, managing anxiety, managing stress, focusing on your mental health is, I would say like 60 to 70% of managing the job search. I've spent 60 to 70% of my time making sure that I'm doing things and investing myself in activities or whatever it may be that will just take some air out of the balloon. I mean, in this market, it doesn't matter if you have 20 years of experience, 50 years of experience, 1 year of experience, you will get rejected. It is just part of the deal. I still have yet to meet somebody who has not been rejected yet. But if you're facing this job market, I can only implore you so much after, hearing what I've gone through, what Lori's gone through, what Doug has gone through. Please focus on your mental health. And Lori Ann, this is a great point to bring up. And I think one of the most important to consider when you're looking for a job nowadays.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and flipping the script from stress to progress. I think that you just said it. That is such a great way to look at that. So you've got to continue to adapt. That's a big piece of that. Well, so you've made a flip, and obviously you're using some of your skills to find this new role. Let's talk about what you're really good at. What is your superpower?
Yes. So, if I were to pick one, it would be being a sales whisperer. Being a marketer who has done sales, I've walked a mile in their shoes. I wouldn't say that I'm a salesperson, but I've done enough where I can understand their KPIs, the pressures that they experience, and the trust that's required to make collaboration with marketing and really the rest of the organization a lot smoother. And as a marketer, when resources are tight, I know how to leverage that connection with sales to generate pipeline and build marketing programs that actually support and generate revenue.
That's a great superpower. And one of the common through lines we've seen with a lot of these superpowers is it's really hard to reflect empathy on a resume. It's like how do you reflect that, right? How do you get that point across in a cover letter, in a resume? I mean, I feel like if anybody's trying to like quantify empathy, it's going to feel like virtue signaling. You can't give yourself a pat on the back and say I'm really a compassionate person. That's not something that you can really describe. That's for other people to say about you who know you and meet you. So, we Doug and I certainly hear this, especially from a lot of our more seasoned talent that has come on this podcast, which is we have this set of skills like empathy, compassion that we can sort of bake into alignment and other, more technical skill sets. But the only way that you're going to find that out about me is if you have a conversation with me.
Yeah, and I think that's a good reason why you've been able to drive such fantastic results. You work with small teams, budgets is always everything has to be constrained. I mean, it's not just a skill. And to David's point, empathy isn't something you put in a resume, but it is truly a differentiator. But you can do the job, or you can understand how people work, what their needs are, how to communicate with them, how to bring them all together, create that empathetic, that leadership style. It's truly a way to change how we work to drive that sales pipeline. I agree.
Awesome. Now, so Lori Ann, you've shared that this search led to a lot of unexpected personal growth. Now, was that something that surprised you about yourself, or how did you process that?
Oh, absolutely. I am naturally an anxious person. That has led to perfectionism in other places in terms of having a high quality of work. But also in this situation where I'm searching for work, surprisingly, I'm finding more Zen moments about the uncomfortable uncertainty. I've taken this space that I don't normally have to take up fractional work that I'm really, really interested in, help strengthen my skills, gain those certifications to upskill myself, also expanding my network. That's how I met you two wonderful people. And also meditating several times a week, where I've always been too busy to meditate, to sit with myself and just enjoy the quiet time and take a moment to go outside. Crazy thing to do when you're working remotely, right? And to smell the roses, just enjoy life and the environment that I'm in outside of my home office. So having the time and the space to do things that I couldn't normally do has kept me sane.
That's so refreshing, and you talk about anxiety, and thank you for being honest about that, because it's not always something that we want to put out there, but that we should. I mean, humans have emotions. I'm not an anxious person, but this job search has gotten me anxious, which is unusual. But I think you're right. And Dave, we talked said before. Take the time, and you did that. You did those, and you took the time to do certifications. Because sitting in front of that screen for 8 hours a day, smashing away at that refresh button, who's going to reject me today, that doesn't help anybody's anxiety. So it doesn't have to all be stress and urgency. It can be time to regroup, reevaluate. How can I improve me as part of the process? So kudos to you for taking that approach.
And Lori Ann, your very simple statement of go outside, I have heard other people say that too. And I think it's worth stressing and underscoring. It's such a simple directive, but it changes the game. And I'll give you an example of what not to do, something that I did, which was the other week. I was very, very lucky to have a very busy interviewing week. I had 3 days that were particularly busy. I did not leave the apartment in 3 days. The fourth day, I was starting to feel like sick. And not because I had eaten something or because I was sick, but the moment I went outside, all of a sudden it felt like my brain could breathe again. I felt the anxiety go away. So just the simple step of walking out the front door can really just make a massive and significant difference.
Absolutely. And you feel more productive, don't you? After going outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. You feel like a human being again. Now, Lori Ann, you have been such a wonderful guest today. I'm so excited that you have landed a new job. That's amazing. Your honesty and your wisdom are so impressive. You're really modeling what it means to stay grounded during uncertainty. And I'm so, so happy that that uncertainty is now over for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And if you're listening to this and you've identified with something that Lori Ann has said or that David has said or I've said, maybe it's time to flip your own script. Progress can look different than you imagine, and that's okay. We don't always end up where we think we're going to go. The journey is still ahead of you. So take the time, breathe, flip your script.
And listen, if you have a story to share, we're here and we want to hear it. So come join us on the Higher Ground Project, just like Lori Ann, and we can talk about why your journey matters and we can share your voice on a platform where we can really just give you the spotlight.
Yeah, and don't forget, as always, to check out Think Strategic Alliances to see Lori Ann's profile, along with others who are building their own path in marketing. Be a part of that process.
And please don't forget to subscribe, share, like. Engagement of any kind really helps us. So thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.